Infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Today we are going to be talking about Law 10 of the 48 Laws of Power. So what does Law 10 actually mean in the 48 Laws? Infection is something that comes up pretty often in it, and it basically just means that people's energy can leech off of you. And I know at first it sounds stupid. For a while I thought energy and all this spiritual stuff was just crap. I just thought people were as they were. But growing up and maturing, you can say that people's energy and what people do, the people that you hang around with, will often affect you. Now, this series that I'm going to start, I will be going over every single law in the 48 laws because I had recently just now finished it, and it's a way for me to go over back every law just to study and get it into my own mind. So I'm learning just as you guys are. So as I said, infection comes up pretty often in this. People and the people that you hang around with often dictate your actions depending on how strong you are mentally. But even the strongest people mentally will end up in something. When I use this word infectious, people usually think, what is this guy talking about? But again, I get it from the 48 laws, and it is something that me personally, I abide by it like really heavily. This may sound exaggerated, but it is more than true. You can die from another man's misery or another woman's. You can think that you're helping or saving the drowning man when in reality you're just getting dragged down with them. If you've read the 48 laws, you know that in each law they have more than one historical story about each to really go in depth about this one. The one I'm going to talk about now is the one of a girl called Lola. Lola was, nowadays we call it a stripper. And so she would attract all of these men, and these men would get suckered into her games. Now, they emphasize on the point that Lola seemed like a fun time. She seemed like an amazing girl. She had derived sexual tendencies out to all of these other men. And so therefore men would go in thinking, okay, I'm just gonna have fun with this girl, no headache at all. But see, she was also a very unstable person. Lola, she was always in every single problem. She was all over the place, and therefore would drag these men into her own problems. So not only does avoiding infectious people help you with just your friends or family, it can also help you with a possible lover. If she's in all of these problems and you are involved with her, you are going to get dragged into those same exact problems, and now you're causing more issues for yourself. But this is one of many reasons why infectious people should at all costs be avoided, unless you need something specific from them and they are only a means to an end. Because if you keep these types of people in your life, they're just gonna drag you down with them. There are a lot of people in the world that just cannot be helped. Their problems run too deep for anybody to help them. They would have to go on their own journey to really dive deep into the root of their problems, and they will have to go through a long process themselves. And that is the only way to avoid dragging somebody down, because once you're locked in with the person who is responsible for all of these problems, you are headed towards a downward spiral toward hell, because you were allured, enchanted, or you were attracted to bad behavior. It is best that you flee the infector's presence, or else you will suffer every consequence known to man. There are those who have been brought up with misfortune, and they've gone through problems their entire lives, which they do deserve our help. They do deserve all of our sympathies. But there are also those who aren't born into this type of misfortune. There are those who just attract problems, and that is what I mean by infectious people. There are some people who have been brought up in a terrible way, and they just keep on pulling problems toward them left and right. If they are the type of person who is not willing to go through the type of change to avert their lives from going into that direction, those are the type of people that you have to stay away from. They do deserve our help, yes, and again, they do deserve our sympathies, but sometimes people's problems run too deep for anybody else to help them. They have to take it upon themselves and start their own initiative to help themselves. If you try to help this person, as I said, they will be dragging you down under the rug with them. But there are also the people who have not gone through all of the misfortunes of life. There are people who are trying to be something they're not, therefore they end up confused, and then they end up bringing all of these problems towards them. I can tell you this now, never try to be somebody you're not. And I know it's a very cliche saying, I'm sure you've heard it all of your life, but this is one of the realest pieces of advice any elder, any adult, any mentor can possibly give you. Because if you are trying to be something you're not, if you don't fully believe that you are this something, or at least trying to achieve this something, you're going to end up confused. You don't know what you're doing. Therefore, you're going to be pulling problems into your life left and right, and that is not something you want. There is a natural prerogative, there is a reason for why the people who aren't brought up with misfortune turn out this way, and it's a very simple reason. We are very emotional people. We go by our moods, even being tempted by the thinking of others that we spend our time with. Now, that's why I say always stick by like-minded people. If you tune into our podcast Vivid, we talk about this a lot. We even dedicate a whole episode to it. It's infectious to hang around people that aren't like you, because people that aren't like you are going to over time shift your brain. You're gonna start thinking in a different way. You would go from the what I would say winner's mentality into something of just, I want to party, I want to go out and have fun. But sure, all of that is fine once you are established, once you have financial stability, once you are emotionally stable. Because if you don't have all of this and you are wasting all of your time going to have fun, you don't have your priorities straight. Therefore, you end up becoming the infectious people that you don't want to hang out with. Now, ever since I read this law, how I avoid these types of infectious people is I just see them how it is. I don't reason with or go by why they have the problems that they have. I reason with, I see it how it is, and I just see all the problems that they are putting out into the world and all of the problems that they keep around them. Because yes, there's always a deeper story to something, but sometimes you just have to see people as they are. You have to see people as who they present themselves as. You have to see people as their problems, because if their problems are more to them than who they are as a person, that is someone that you should be avoiding altogether. One of the many reasons why I love the 48 Laws of Power and exactly how it was written out is because there is something in there called images. The author puts a very specific and greatly worded image into your head. One of them for this specific law is to imagine a virus, a parasite, just sneaking into your pores unseen. You don't see it, you don't feel it, you don't even know that it's there. Eventually, over time, it bonds with you, it becomes you. Next thing you know, you are the virus, you are the parasite, because you had let this infectious person take root into your life and grow onto you. They've latched onto your personality, onto your actions, onto your opinions. Therefore, you become the person that people want to avoid. You become the person that all of your problems go into. So I say this heavily. If you want to avoid being this type of person, you need to avoid these type of people. And listen, I know that at times people feel lost. At times people just want to be heard by a group of people. I've seen it firsthand with friends, especially with family, how they have not been accepted anywhere, but they get accepted by the group of people that you don't want to be accepted by. But they're the only ones who have ever accepted you. Therefore, you want to impress them. You want to involve yourself with them. And now you are pulling in all of the same problems they have. You're pulling in all of the same habits they have, the terrible habits, the smoking, the drinking. All of that becomes you. And I understand that, yes, you haven't been accepted anywhere. But honestly, you don't need to be accepted by anybody to live the life that you want to live, to be the type of person that you want to be in life. You don't need to be accepted by anybody, but from young, which is why there are the misfortunate who have been brung up this way. Therefore, problems that have followed them all of their life. These people deserve help and they deserve sympathy. Yes, I agree. But at some point, their problems run too deep, even into their own childhood. Now, in life, there are going to be people that you are jealous of. Now, this is the good side of infection, because those are the type of people that you should befriend. Those are the types of people that you should stick around, because then what they have, their good karma will say, that is their positive side of infection. You want to stick around them so that all of that generosity, all of that positive energy, all of that good luck will now leech onto you, and now you are following by the lead of somebody who you think is great. You can either go the route of you're jealous of them, therefore you hate them because they have what you don't. If you don't go that route, you're going to go by the route of you're going to be infected by the wrong people, therefore your life is going to go on a downward spiral. Personally, I choose to be the good type of infection. I choose to be a generous person. I choose to be a kind person at times. I choose to be the type of person that people want to be around. I choose to be an honest person. I choose to be a trustworthy person. These are traits of someone who has a positive, infectious outlook on life. So you can be this person, or if you are trying to be this person, this is what I did. I found a mentor. I found somebody who was older than me and much more successful than I am. I hung around them, I worked with them, I ate with them, I broke bread with them. I learned their habits, their skills, their traits. I learned all the good sides of their personality, and naturally I start to embody all of the good traits. I'm not embodying the person, I'm not embodying the mentor, I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm just simply seeing the effect of all of these good traits that this person is putting out into the world, and now I embody those traits because I also want to be the type of person that can put those traits out into the world. I want to be the person who always attracts good karma because I'm putting good karma out into the world. That is the type of infectious person you should strive to be in life. At the end of each law, we have an authority. And this is basically the summary of the law. The one from this law, Law 10, about infection, is recognize the fortunate so that you may choose their company, and the unfortunate so that you may avoid them. Misfortune is usually the crime of folly, and among those who suffer from it, there is no malady more contagious. Never open your doors to the least of misfortunes, for if you do, many others will follow in its train. Do not die of another's misery. Robert Greene. And it's not just the 48 laws from him. There are multiple other books. The Arts of War, the Laws of Seduction. Each one, it gives you a perspective. It gives you things that you need in life to really survive and live a thriveful life. As I said here, once you let one in, the rest follow like damn sheep following the shepherd. Avoid them at all costs. The bad side, that is. Always use the positive side of infection to your advantage. If you are a gloomy person, strive to be cheerful and happy. If you are a person who is prone to being isolated. Strive to be more out there. Strive to be more open. If you're a lazy or a drowsy person, try to do more things. Try to be out more in the world. Now, if you're an angry person, try to avoid things that make you angry if you're not at the stage where you can control your emotions, because as I said, humans have a natural derogative, they have a natural footprint to follow of their emotions and their moods. It can be an amazing thing, but it can also be a curse. Emotions is something eventually you will have to learn how to control, because if you don't, that will also lead you into a downward spiral in life. If you cannot regulate your emotions, if you cannot display yourself properly, because therefore you're gonna find yourself being mad at everybody, you're gonna find yourself lashing out, you're gonna find yourself loving the wrong person, getting attached because you can't control that love to see the person for who they truly are. Therefore you get hurt because of it. You need to learn how to regulate your emotions, how to be emotionally intelligent so that you can go through life. So always strive and always look for the positive effects of infection. Always strive to be better than who you were as of yesterday. Always strive to not be lazy, always strive to not be angry, always strive to not be depressed, isolated, always strive to see all of the good outlooks of life, always try to be the person that people want to be around. Or as a start, try to be the person that wants to make a change in their life, because there's plenty of people who don't. There are plenty of people who don't acknowledge their problems. There are plenty of people who blame everybody else. You have to get to a point where you can see what you're doing to yourself, because at the end of the day, you're in control of your own life. Your actions dictate your consequences. Cause and effect. Lucky, unlucky. Hang around the lucky. If you see that somebody is very unlucky in life, stay away from them. Because if you try to help them, if you pity them, they're gonna end up dragging you down a path that you do not want to go down. Ultimately, there is no reversal to this law. Always strive to be the positive side of infection, because once you are coming at life with a positive outlook at all of your issues, at all of your problems, at all the people that you welcome into your life, into your home, into your sanctuary, if you look at people as how they are, if you look at people as a problem magnet, if you look at people to see them as they are infectious, avoid them. And if you are the positive side of infection yourself, you have a good outlook on life. You are set. You have one key component out of the many to succeed in life, and you are already on that path. Now, if from this video you decide that you are one of these infectious people, that you are the people that no one wants to hang around, I would highly recommend not searching, the people that you are jealous of even, or the people that you see can be learned from and can welcome you into their life. I highly recommend sticking around them, because naturally their good infectious traits are going to rub off on you. But if you are still this infectious person trying to be with the type of person that can help you, don't even think about it. You have to take the initiative yourself to get rid of some of these bad problems that people don't want to be around, because nobody wants to be around a problem magnet. Nobody wants to be around somebody that is going to drag them underwater. I'm going to be continuing this series of going through every law of the 48 laws of power. If you have taken anything from this video, if you have any opinions, if you disagree with any of the things I've said, you can just comment right below. Check out our podcast Vivid, where we talk about all types of controversial topics, and tell me the next law that you want me to talk about, because I'm really just choosing laws at random. I started on 10 when there's 48. I'd even start at 1. I hope you've taken something positive from listening to this. I hope you strive to be the type of good infectious person, because there is no reversal possible to this law. Thank you for tuning in, and subscribe to see the next one.